In the heart of Port Charles, few things are as constant as betrayal and heartbreak. As one of the most electrifying storylines unfolds on General Hospital, the fall of Jack Brennan and Carly Spencer's fractured trust has gripped the audience's attention like a vice. Their turbulent relationship, once a symbol of shared goals and mutual respect, has devolved into a battlefield, with Carly intent on destroying Brennan, a man who had once been her ally and confidant. For Carly, the stakes have never been higher. When she received the shocking news that her daughter, Jocelyn Jacks, had been recruited into the WSB, World Security Bureau, a powerful organization shrouded in secrecy, Carly's world tilted on its axis. The weight of the revelation sent ripples of anger through her, but what came next was even more devastating. She began to suspect that Jocelyn was involved in the killing of Cyrus Renault, the notorious criminal mastermind who had terrorized Port Charles. This suspicion gnawed at Carly, fueling a fury that seemed unstoppable. Carly, the strong and resilient matriarch of the Spencer family, had always been fiercely protective of her loved ones. To think that her own daughter might have been entangled in such dark and dangerous acts, under the shadow of the WSB no less, was more than she could bear. For Carly, nothing was more sacred than family, and the thought of her daughter being dragged into such a deadly game was an unforgivable betrayal in itself. Her suspicion only intensified when she traced the strings back to Jack Brennan. As Carly's anger mounted, she began to see Brennan as the source of all her troubles. His involvement with the WSB, and by extension, his link to Jocelyn's recruitment, became an all-consuming obsession for Carly. She could no longer see Brennan as an ally but as a threat to the very family she held dear. Brennan, for his part, was blindsided by Carly's transformation. Their once unshakable bond had now been severed, and he found himself on the receiving end of Carly's wrath. For months, he had trusted Carly with his deepest vulnerabilities. He had confided in her, shared his fears and ambitions, believing she understood him in a way no one else did. But as Carly's suspicions twisted into a dangerous vendetta, Brennan was left reeling. The man who had always been Carly's protector, her rock, now faced the crushing reality that he could no longer trust the one person he thought he could rely on. Carly's actions would come to define the fate of their relationship. She became determined not only to destroy Brennan's reputation but to tear apart everything he had worked for. Her plan to ruin him began with a series of calculated moves, each one more destructive than the last. It was as if Carly had taken everything Brennan had ever valued and began to dismantle it, piece by piece. As the tension between them escalated, the audience was left wondering, how far would Carly go? Would she stop at nothing to bring Brennan down, even if it meant losing everything she had once held dear? The complex dynamics of their relationship, laced with years of history, betrayal, and power struggles, made the battle between them all the more intense. What started as a betrayal born out of concern for her daughter would soon evolve into an all-out war, a war that Carly seemed determined to win at any cost. However, for Brennan, the weight of Carly's betrayal was even more painful. The woman who had once been his partner in every sense of the word was now his greatest enemy. As Carly executed her plan with precision, Brennan was left questioning everything he thought he knew about loyalty, trust, and love. Carly's ability to hurt him so deeply shattered the foundation of everything they had built together. The devastating blow he was about to receive would leave him not only heartbroken but adrift in a sea of doubt. For all of Carly's strength, there was an undeniable vulnerability in her decision to go after Brennan. This was not just about vengeance, it was about survival. Carly had always been a fighter, but as she fought to protect her daughter, she was also fighting to protect the fragile balance of her own world. The destruction of Brennan was a necessary evil in her mind, a way to regain control over a situation that had spiraled out of her hands. In the aftermath of the war between Carly and Brennan, both characters would find themselves irrevocably changed. Carly would have to confront the consequences of her actions, realizing that the lines between right and wrong had blurred beyond recognition. Brennan, too, would have to grapple with the fallout of the betrayal, questioning whether his pursuit of justice had led him down a path of ruin. Their fates, once intertwined, were now on separate trajectories. And as the fallout from this epic betrayal continues to unfold, the audience can only wonder what the future holds for Carly, Brennan, and everyone caught in their wake. Will Carly's thirst for vengeance prove to be her undoing? Or will Brennan rise from the ashes of betrayal and emerge stronger than ever? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: this storyline is far from over. The true cost of betrayal has yet to be fully realized, and the consequences of Carly's actions will ripple through the lives of everyone involved for years to come. In the end, General Hospital has once again proven that in Port Charles, no one is safe from the consequences of their choices, especially when it comes to matters of the heart, loyalty, and betrayal.